So I went to the grocery store today, and as I was leaving, as we all often see exiting stores, is an individual holding a sign asking for help. So I had a few bucks in my wallet, whether it was right or wrong, or there's a better course of action, I don't know, but that's what I had available. And so I didn't just hand her the money and leave. I decided to ask her pointedly, with kindly, like, what happened? Why are you here? And her first response was, it's my fault. I did this. And she proceeded to tell me that she's been clean for 2 years, which indicates that she was addicted to a substance, which led her to make some very poor choices. And she said that she has 4 children, currently working at Rayleigh Field, where she earns less than $1,000 a month, and she's currently residing in a tent. I asked her if she was concerned that she would be removed, kicked out, have to go elsewhere. And she said that more often than not, the cops actually will let you be. She says when you create disturbances and create a mess, that they will approach you and ask you to leave. She says more often than not, they're not really bothered. It's just when other people choose to be disorderly, disruptive, or disrespectful, that they are approached. And whether there was truth in any of what she told me, I don't know. I do believe that there was an addiction. I do hope that she is sober, and I do hope for the best for her. And unfortunately, there wasn't much more currently that I was able to do, but maybe it's a result of the things occurring in my life, but I have a very different vantage point than I did a decade ago, maybe even 5 years ago, maybe even yesterday. Because I know that if I didn't have the support I do, that I wouldn't be where I am now. Because I don't think most of us imagine what it would be like to be without somebody, to have absolutely no one personally to turn to. And I think that's what happened to her. And I think it's very possible that she entered this world in a much more difficult environment than a lot of us have. And I'm very fortunate in so many ways. And unfortunately, I don't think most of us really reflect on it. And we live our lives in fear and ignorance because we don't want to think. And it's not my place to judge another human being. What right do I have to be cruel to somebody when they're already in so much pain? I also understand that in this world, in our society, we always try to blame other people, and sometimes, yes, we try to be the victim ourselves, but I know from personal experience that there are genuinely good people trying. And I know, as much as anybody wants to say, well, you should have planned for this, you can't plan on people just abandoning you. You can't plan on becoming sick. You can't. No one wants to live in this world where you think the worst possible thing of another human being. And sometimes stuff just happens, and we don't have that control that we think we do. And there is no planning. And there are families with parents or a parent that does work, and something happens, and they lose their home, and they lose any semblance of safety and security. And there's just no place to go. There really isn't. I have a friend who was told that it's 2 years for transitional housing for her and her kids. 2 years. You know, I think before you sit there and just on your throne and judge somebody else, you need to really take a long, hard look at how much you have and how you are there more than likely as a result of the support that somebody else didn't have. This world is so very harsh sometimes. So I think it's just really important. And I know I can't change it. I can only change myself. To really stop and reflect on what you already have. And ultimately what is going to be the most important thing for you and for your happiness in this very short life that we lead. And it isn't my place to say, but for me, it's my relationships with people. And it's not the stuff. So, I just want to thank those who do continue to support me. Because I appreciate it.